We are glad you found your way to this sanctuary of quiet wisdom. Here, we believe our pets are not just companions sharing our living rooms. They are our most loyal teachers, offering deep philosophical blueprints hidden in the simple rhythms of their daily lives. Have you ever stopped to watch your dog in those final moments before a routine event? Let's look at the 5 p.m. secret. For many of us, 5 p.m. is dinner time, or perhaps the time a loved one returns home. At 4:50 p.m., the human mind is often a whirlwind of anticipatory anxiety. We check the clock every 30 seconds. We worry if the traffic is bad. We ruminate on the tasks we didn't finish. We are physically in the room, but mentally we are already 10 miles down the road or 30 minutes into the future. Now look at your dog. They are at peace. They might be sitting by the door or resting their chin on their paws. There is no frantic pacing, no furrowed brow, no desperate need to control the outcome. They exist in a state of quiet contentment. They aren't worried that the food has run out or that the door will never open again. They understand something we have forgotten, the art of waiting. In a world that is constantly rushing, we bring you Lofi Philosophy, a blend of calming, timeless wisdom seen through the eyes of our furry companions. Today, we are going to break down the ancient life lessons your pet provides to help you reduce stress, find your purpose, and live with more heart. We will explore why your pet's loyal patience is the ultimate cure for the anxiety that keeps you awake at night. If you're a soul looking for a bit of quiet wisdom, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the classroom of the silent companion. To understand the 5 p.m. secret, we must first look at why humans suffer from anticipatory anxiety. It often stems from a lack of true foundation. As long as we have options, we keep leaning on them. As long as we have backup plans, we keep trusting in our own ability to manipulate the future. We treat every delay as a threat and every silence as abandonment. When your dog waits at the door, they are not relying on a plan B. They don't have a backup owner or a hidden stash of keys. They are in a state of total, singular dependence on the rhythm of the household. For humans, but to make room for a deeper version of ourselves to emerge. Think of your dog's waiting as a quota 11 of preparation. While they wait, they aren't losing their identity. They are actually solidifying it. They are learning that what feels like a delay is actually preservation. Many of us are taught to depend on others for affirmation, comfort, and direction. When that phone stops ringing or the nights grow quiet, we panic. But the 5 p.m. secret teaches us that the absence of people or the absence of immediate results is actually an invitation to a sacred place. It is in the silence that your foundation is built. Your dog isn't leaning on a crutch. They are standing on the, quote, 13 of their lived experience and trust. We often view isolation as a punishment, but in the world of, quote, 14, isolation is a workshop. In the simple lives of our pets, being, quote, 15 for a moment, perhaps when you are at work and they are home alone, is not a sign of being forgotten. It is a season of being, quote, 16. There is a powerful revelation in this. Some of the most important work in your life happens when no one is watching. Archetypal stories of great figures often show them hidden in, quote, 17 or, quote, 18, before they ever wear a crown or achieve their purpose. Isolation is not a punishment. It is a training ground. It is where you learn to stand without quote 19. Your pet understands the value of the quote 20. When a dog is resting in the sun, they aren't worried about their image or their need for approval. They are content because they have moved from options to a state of internal strength. They don't need to impress anyone. They don't have a strength they need to fake. Anticipatory anxiety thrives on the noise of a loud life. A loud life makes it hard to hear the whisper of your own intuition and the gentle rhythms of nature. Sometimes life allows the relationship to end or the text messages to go unanswered to break the noise around you. In that stillness, you start to pray differently, not out of habit, but out of hunger for truth. You stop being someone's backup plan and start becoming the builder of your own destiny. Consider the idea of divine dependence translated into the life of a pet. They have no strategy, no strength of their own to change the world, yet they are provided for. This isn't about laziness. It's about recognizing that provision doesn't always come from frantic human effort. It comes from being aligned with the source of your life. When you reach the point where you have no one else to call, that is when something shifts. Isolation turns into a classroom. You learn that what felt like loss was actually protection. We cannot talk about waiting without talking about the crushing moments. Every pet owner knows the look of a dog who has been told no or wait. To the dog, that moment might feel like a hidden place of pain. But we, from our higher perspective, know that the no is for their safety. Perhaps we are keeping them from running into a busy street or eating something harmful. In the same way, your anticipatory anxiety is often triggered by closed doors or delays. You might feel like you're being rejected by life. But singleness, unemployment, or a season of silence is not a curse. It is preservation. Life is protecting you from wrong connections that could derail your destiny. Just as a dog is kept on a leash for its own protection, your delays are often redirections. Pain is one of life's sharpest tools. When you have nothing left but your own breath and the present moment, the pain becomes a classroom where you are prepared for a greater purpose. It is a purifier. Many of us never seek the deep water of our own souls until the shallow water of our comfort is stripped away. The crushing of today is the anointing of tomorrow. When you are left alone with the silence, the mirrors of people's validation break, and you finally see yourself as you truly are. You aren't quote 46, you are quote 47. You are not quote 48, you are being quote 49. Your dog doesn't view their waiting as a delay. They view it as a delivery room for the next moment of joy. Purpose grows in quiet places. Some blessings and some parts of your character are too sacred for open spaces. They need to be formed in the secret, quiet, Lofi moments of your life. The silence around you isn't rejection, it is protection. You are not being set aside. You are being set apart for something that requires a stronger foundation than the one you had before. The 5 p.m. secret is ultimately about the law of perfect timing. There is a timeless adage that, quote, 53. Notice, not in your time, but in its time. Timing is just as important as the promise itself. If a dog were given their entire week's worth of food on Monday morning, it wouldn't be a blessing. It would be a burden. It might even be dangerous. In the same way, if you received your destiny or your big break before you had the character to handle it, the blessing would crush you. Waiting is not wasting time, it is preparation. While you wait, life is shaping your faith, strengthening your patience, and aligning your destiny. Your dog knows this instinctively. They don't try to quote 57 of the master of the house. They don't compare their timeline to the dog next door. They know that in the calendar of the universe, they are right on schedule. Anticipatory anxiety is the result of trying to live in tomorrow with only today's resources. But when you finally realize that the source of your life is enough, you stop grieving what you've lost. You stop looking at the closed doors with regret and start looking at the current hallway with curiosity. When you have no one but the truth, you discover that the truth was the best option all along. Loneliness transforms into intimacy with yourself. Those quiet moments by the window, watching the rain, they aren't wasted, they are sacred. They are the _65_ where your heart finally has room to be filled. When everyone else walks away, the truth draws closer, and its voice becomes louder than ever before. So, how do we cure anticipatory anxiety? How do we move from the frantic quote 66 to the quote 67? First, embrace the silence. Stop trying to fill every gap in your day with noise or distractions. Understand that the quote 68 is where life speaks, where the quote 69 is where healing happens, and where the quote 70 is where you are made whole. Second, recognize your quote 71. If a door has closed, or if a person has walked out of your life, see it as quote 72. You're being protected from a quote 73 that would have cost you your vision, your strength, or your peace. Third, build your foundation on the quote 74, not the quote 75. Stop leaning on quote 76, like the need for constant approval or a specific quote 77. Learn to stand in your own strength, developed in the quote 78 of your waiting period. Fourth, trust the timing. Stop comparing your quote 79 to everyone else's. Remember that delay is not denial. Life is orchestrating a season where, when the promise finally arrives, it will be so undeniable and purposeful that the years of waiting will be overshadowed by its beauty. Look at your pet one more time. They aren't quote 82, they are quote 83. They are quote 84. As we wrap up this session of Pet Philos, take a deep breath. Feel the weight of the present moment. You are not quote 85. You are not quote 86. You are exactly where you need to be. The quote 87 is that the provider is already on the way, the meal is already prepared, and the door is already scheduled to open. Your only job is to be present, to be loyal to your own journey, and to wait with a heart full of quote 88 type. In the comments, quote 89 to let the community know you are choosing peace over anxiety today. Let that be your declaration. Say it until your heart believes it. Thank you for joining us in this sanctuary. If this quote 90 touched your soul, remember to subscribe and join our community as we continue our journey toward a more loyal, peaceful life. Your story isn't ending in the waiting, it's just beginning. Stay still, stay present, stay peaceful,